Hello and welcome to an exclusive interview on ET Edge Insights. Today we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Mauvin Godinho. He is the Minister for Industries, Trade and Commerce for the state of Goa. Mr. Godinho, it's a pleasure to host you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this with us.
Pleasure, and it's nice to be on your program too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me begin by asking you, Goa has predominantly been a tourist hub. So how do you envision an economy that goes beyond tourism?
First of all, I would say you're quite right in saying that we are a tourism state.
Right.
There are two things that we were totally dependent upon. One is the tourism industry and other was the mining industry.
Right.
For some reason, after the decision of the Supreme Court to halt mining, we took a big beating. And then what were we dependent on was simply tourism. I call it the most preferred destination worldwide. People coming not only from all over the country, but coming from abroad as well, with so many charters coming and all that. Then came COVID-19, which again impacted us a lot because we were dependent on tourism. People came to be safe in Goa. They rented out places, they stayed for a short while, and they decided thereafter, with the new work culture coming, work from home, as a consequence of COVID-19, they made Goa their permanent home.
Right.
So it became a different type of tourism or a different type of situation where you had more people coming and settling into Goa.
Right.
And by word of mouth and by their good experiences with the Goan people, the atmosphere, the things that are there where you feel very nice to stay. You have more hordes of people coming there, so much so that nowadays we have different sorts of problems of people descending in such large numbers and wanting to have their second homes or even their third home, that locals are feeling they are being outnumbered. So this is the way tourism is fanning out. The preference for Goa is so strong, I would say, that we really been growing in that direction.
Right.
But I want to say here that it's not only tourism that we are strong now. We have a strong manufacturing base. We have industries flourishing.
Right.
So much so that almost about 8% of the pharmaceutical industry, which supplies medicines all over the world, is there in Goa, particularly in one industrial estate called the most modern Verna industrial estate. And people prefer to come to Goa. That is what is most important.
Right.
Set up their businesses. And I have a new tagline for them. I say you can do business from any part of the world for that matter. But in Goa, you can do business and business with pleasure.
Right.
While you work hard the whole day, it's an atmosphere you'll feel like relaxing in the evening.
Right.
And when you relax well, when you sleep well, your thoughts the next morning would be awesome.
Right.
It would be out of the box thoughts, and you'll even do much better than what you have been doing elsewhere.
Right.
And somehow this has caught up in a big way. It is not that it just happened. We have had policies which are industry friendly, going in tune with what Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi wants, ease of doing business.
Right.
We have brought about a sea change. We brought about a new industrial policy which is industry friendly. We brought about a new warehousing and logistics policy soon after that. And then we had reforms in something called EIDC, which is the Industrial Development Corporation, where we have more than 23 industrial estates. It was first next to impossible to transfer your land to somebody else once you have taken it. Land was just lying idle, precious land, and then there was no economic activity. We introduced a very transparent policy. We allowed the leasing out as well as selling in a very transparent manner. And today, even the availability of plots and land and where industry can come up is very transparent. It is there on the website. It is there on the digital platform. So Goa has become even industry friendly.
Right. So you've pretty much answered my next question also. Like, this is the era of startups and MSMEs, and definitely your government is doing things and easing out policies so that people come and do business with pleasure, as you said.
Yeah.
Now, in this era of green industries, what has your government done to ensure that there is a sustainability ecosystem around businesses?
First of all, I want to say the people of Goa are very conscious, in fact, extra conscious. about the environment, so much so that they will not like big projects, as they term them, mega projects, which will
Right.
disturb the village ecosystem. Having said that, when you look at the situation as far as industry is concerned, we do not welcome the red category industry, that is polluting industries.
Right.
We welcome only eco-friendly industries. Even then, people have been making a beeline. Testimony of that has been we auctioned some of our land, while we also give land to large industry through the something called the Investment Promotion Board. We also auction land, and the response has been tremendous, and people have taken it at very high prices.
Right.
That shows what is the preference for Goa, because we are very happily linked, whether it is through a natural harbour called the Marmugao Port Authority. We have two railways, Southwestern Railway, we have the Konkan Railway, we have the container services picking up in a big way and going to take a quantum jump in due course of time.
Right.
Then even though we are half the size of any district of a larger state, we have two airports, one for the north, one for the south. And even tourism, as you have spoken earlier, I want to say, people who want to have a quiet holiday, going by nature, relaxing on the beaches, where there is no much noise, not many things happening except a very nice, quiet village life, they prefer going south. So they prefer landing at Dabolim.
Right.
And those who want the happening place with all the buzz, like perhaps the youngsters and other groups, they land at Mopa, they go there.
Right.
And Mopa means, of course, the strategic location also serves Maharashtra in a big way, because
Absolutely.
you have Sindhudurg, you have the Konkan belt, and it serves people from those areas.
Right.
So both airports are happily coexisting.
Right.
So with and railways expanding, then your two airports, good road networks.
Correct.
Thanks to Nitin Gadkari ji, he has been always saying yes to us for everything. Thanks to Honorable Prime Minister, that's why we call it the double engine. Anything as regards Goa, there will always be a go ahead.
Right.
That's how we have progressed so much.
Right.
And at every award function, Goa always figures among the smaller states, which is a feather in our cap.
Right.
So that way, we are doing a lot besides tourism.
Right. Right. So very pertinent point you have put across. It's not only tourism, but if we talk about today's day and age where global trade is flourishing, and logistically Goa is looking such a strong state. I mean, in terms of network, you talked about the two airports, the rail, the road infrastructure. So all in all, it's fantastic ecosystem like you described for business. But I'm sure, sir, you must have encountered some sort of challenges, and obviously you have turned those challenges into opportunities. So what was it like, going forward and getting into this situation?
When I introduced all the three new policies, as I
Right.
said, new industrial policy, new warehousing and logistic policy, new reforms in allotment of plots and releasing more land for industry, with the support of my Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant, I moved ahead very fast.
Right.
And that brought about a sea change in the thinking of the people. As against today, we are a huge global village today. With the communication, with the types of tools available, I don't think we can afford to remain isolated. We have to be as best as the rest in the country or the rest of the world.
Right.
And with the new things or the new normals, as I would call it in today's world, with a president like the President of America, with the tariffs that he has imposed, I consider it as a big challenge to all of us. And I call it a stepping stone to great success, because this is something which is going to propel something out of the box of our very industrious people of all over the country, not only in Goa. And this is what happened. People thought, what will happen after the sanctions, after the Pokhran blast? People thought, what will happen after COVID-19? But did we not bounce back in a very big way?
Absolutely, yes.
I expect a big bounce back again, much larger than what people think. And the day will not be far when we will be the third largest economy,
Right.
with inclusive growth, which is what I look forward to. There is something for everyone, and particularly the youth.
Right.
Today we have a workforce which we can skill and upskill to make them more employable.
Right.
AI coming is a big challenge as well,
Right.
in a big way. It is a challenge for jobs available. People feel that jobs will go away, but jobs will also come.
Right.
So you have to skill yourself to that level, and
Right.
it will happen in India. Because as I have said, used to be a member of the GST Council, and I should tell that just look at the challenges we have faced with our honorable Prime Minister and our honorable Finance Minister. India is a combination of countries. If there is little success in something, we keep applauding the West, the other countries. But look at our population, look at our diversity, look at the size, and look at the number of states.
Right.
It's a combination of countries, and yet we succeed.
Right.
So that's the greatness of our people. You need a leadership, and today, I think there is no bigger leader than Sri Narendra Modi ji.
Right.
I don't say it because I am in the same party, who has produced results. It's not just he just talks. And I can give so many examples of success, but that I would not like to take time. But because people of the country know, and they have got faith in him.
Right.
The latest reforms, as you know,
Of course, the
GST reforms.
Yes.
It is going to bring about such a transformation.
Yes.
People talk about shortfall in revenue because in certain categories you will not have that much of income coming. But with the mass consumption that is bound to happen, obviously that also will lead to a larger amount of collection in terms of a larger number of people being taxed, though the taxation would be small.
Right.
So one is not looking at that situation. So one has to be positive, and that is what this government has been doing. Today we are a country which has a real functional democracy,
Right.
where the best of it comes to the fore. Sometimes because of the social media particularly, it looks like sometimes the negative things come forward much more than the other things. But ultimately, the negative things get suppressed because truth always triumphs. The right things will always happen, and that's how we have been moving as a very progressive, soon to be a superpower, as I call it, country.
GST reforms, does it counter what the tariffs have been introduced by the US government? I mean, in terms of, since, reforms have been made across industries. So how does it help to suppress the tariffs in some ways?
See, when you have certain markets which are closed,
Right.
there are other markets which will open up. When you had an opportunity in one particular place, you will look for newer opportunities. And with necessity is the mother of invention.
True.
So automatically you will get those things happening. I don't link the reforms in GST to the tariffs. It was long happening. Every time they said, when are the reforms coming? There should not be so many slabs. There should be 1 or 2 slabs. So we have moved at stage. Only the timing has been such that it has come when the tariffs have been imposed. So everyone sees that it is not a knee-jerk reaction. It is a very conscious reform which has been brought about at the right time for right things to happen, so that the Indian economy grows as expected. Today we are the largest growing economy. Nobody can beat us. And the amount of things, good things that are happening in every sector, you name it, and it is happening, even with space technology, which is almost 1/10 of the cost of other bigger countries.
True.
Is that not proof that exactly where India is going?
Right.
So that is what is important.
Right. Mr. Godinho, on that note, thank you very much for your valuable insights.
Yeah.
It was a real pleasure to chat
Yeah.
with you. Thank you very much.
Thank
sir,
you so
for your
much.
time.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.